Alright, buckle up, because this one's wild. What starts as a simple stop for fuel turns into a full-blown legal showdown between a calm auditor and two officers who seem to have skipped their law training. All over. A 20 pounds Royal Mint coin. Yep, legal tender. But when staff refuse it, police step in and manage to turn a civil dispute into a criminal arrest. Stay locked in, because by the end of this video, someone's walking away with a massive payout, and it's not the police.
Sorry, what's happened, sir?
I don't know, ask them. No idea.
What are they? Have you paid for fuel, sir? Yeah. Have you put your fuel in?
I have, yeah. And I've paid, yeah.
Right. Has he just tried to pay with them?
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
So
What are they?
it's a £20 coin. There you
Never
go.
seen them in my life.
So it's from the Royal Mint, so the same place that all legal tender comes from. It's got the same legal tender status that any other money has.
Never seen one of these in my
Can I
life.
take your collar number, sorry?
Yeah, 3130. Sorry.
And you're from Middlesbrough Station, are you?
No, I'm from Stockton. Stockton Police Station.
I was asked for stories. They said they are not accept this one.
Yeah, I don't think they would either, to be honest with you.
Can
Have
you
you
say-
got any other means of payment at the minute?
I don't want to know. Can I ask why you didn't tell me before you started recording?
So when we go to any incident, our tour of duty and our police protocol is to video every incident we go to achieve the best evidence.
But you've got to notify the person at the first available opportunity.
No, we don't.
You do?
Have you got that from somewhere? Have you read that up somewhere? Or?
Yes, your policy. Yeah.
Okay. Well, at the minute, we're obviously videoing everything because we've been called to an incident. Immediate response where there's some ongoing issue with payment, whether it's a domestic...
999?
Well, that's what's coming as, yeah.
Well,
Well, we just didn't know what was happening. There was an altercation in the shop, so we've arrived on that instance.
but you've still got to tell someone at the first available opportunity that
Yeah.
you're recording and you didn't.
Well, we don't have to tell you. We turn our body cameras on 30 seconds before any incident. So these pre-record technically when we're in the vehicle.
But you do have to tell them before you start recording.
We don't. Are you going to give me your name?
I'm not, no.
Right, okay.
Because
Is there a
it's,
reason for that?
Because it's a civil matter and it's not something that the police can get involved in.
To a degree, you're right. It is a civil matter. But we can deal with it a different way. But obviously, ultimately, you haven't paid for your fuel.
I have.
But they're not accepting that money.
But that's up to
they?
them to accept it. If they
But
decline,
they've obviously run the post office and they've declined that. Ultimately, it's a civil issue. But if you're not willing to give us your details, then how do we know that you're going to resolve the civil issue at a later date? If you're happy to give us your details, then we can look at the civil issue at a later date.
but that's a
not
civil.
problem.
That's a civil issue. That's nothing for the police
But we
to get
don't know your
involved in.
details, do we? So you could technically...
Notice what's happening here. The officer's body cam is rolling, but she denies needing to inform him. That's wrong. UK police policy says officers should notify the public at the earliest opportunity that they're recording. Then she asks for his name, even though she just admitted this is a civil dispute. No offense, no power to demand ID. This is exactly how small misunderstandings turn into unlawful detentions. When officers confuse authority with entitlement, what do you think? Genuine mistake or deliberate overreach?
escape from here and never come back and never deal with that issue, then you'll be circulated as wanted for that, won't you, for making off without payment?
That's not a police issue at the minute.
It is.
It's
It is
not.
a police issue because you've not paid for fuel. So there's still an offence there of that you've not paid for your fuel.
But I
before
have paid.
leaving.
I've gave them.
But you've given them this coin,
Yeah.
which ultimately they've spoke to the post office and they've decided that it's not a reasonable amount of payment for your fuel. So at the minute we're sort of hands are tied, agree with you on certain instances of that, but we still need a solution today, whether we take your details and we deal with it at a later date, or we pay a different...
Is that for me as well?
I'm not too sure. Potentially, yeah, I'm not too sure.
Oh my god.
Could be a different job, but I don't actually know who that is, if I'm honest with you. It must be. I wasn't aware somebody else was travelling, so...
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Shall we move out the way?
If you want to,
If there is
want to move back here, that's not a problem, yeah, out the way.
Just so no one interrupting people.
So you're going to give us your details?
Are you
then?
came as well on blue lights?
Yeah. So basically, he's trying
Wow.
to pay with this. They've run the post office and said that it doesn't really exist, you can't pay with that. He obviously won't give us our details. I've explained to him to a degree it is a civil matter, however, if he does make off and he doesn't give us our details, we're struggling for any sort of civil issue at a later date, any details, and making off without payment, So I've explained if he does give us his details and we know where he is and we can contact him at a later date, hopefully this issue can get resolved. He's obviously not really
can't
wanting
do
to
this.
do that at the minute,
Because
are
it's
you?
a civil issue and it's nothing for the police to get involved
But
in.
you're still going to make off, aren't you? Technically without payment, but if we can get your details,
But I have paid.
but you haven't.
And it is their policy to accept the £20 coin.
Have you?
How's it
Has
their
he paid?
policy? No, he hasn't.
Right. If you haven't paid, and if you walk out the door now,
They've
then
still
you're
got,
li-
they've
just
still got the money though.
Just
Well,
let,
no. Well, what have you
just let
said
me
that is?
finish. If you
Yeah.
walk out that door now, you are liable for an arrest because we don't have your details.
But you don't need them
Well, I do
because it's a civil issue.
but it's not because a make off without payment is then a police matter. So if you walk out that
No,
door
it's
now,
not.
you
And there it is. You'll be circulated as wanted. That's a bluff. Being wanted only applies to criminal suspects or court absconders, not someone in a disagreement over legal tender. This is the moment the encounter flips from ignorance to intimidation. Instead of cooling things down, she tries to scare compliance out of him. Imagine being told you could end up wanted over a coin. It's a perfect example of why knowing your rights matters more than ever.
it is. If you walk out that door now, you'll be getting arrested for make off without payment.
But there is an agreement with
But
BP that
Is there
the
any other
coin can be
way? Is
used.
there any other way that you can pay? Because we're going to sit here for hours arguing. I've been quite respectful to you. I appreciate you have to a degree, and I appreciate that from yourself. You haven't been argumentative with me, and I appreciate that you've been a normal human being.
No,
However, we need
I don't
a
intend to.
solution.
No.
No, I know you
If
appreciate
you
that.
can pay for the fuel now by other means, then that's fair enough. It'll be the end of the matter.
Or if you can give us your details and we can deal with it at a slower time, we can offer you that. But if you're not willing to do either any, then we're struggling with what we have left to do.
Because we can't let you walk out that door without paying. But
We don't know where you live, you might not even be from around here, I'm not saying you are, but you know what I mean, we have people where they'll make off and then they won't give us our details and then we're going to struggle. I'm still going to have that £20 of fuel, unfortunately, with this BP garage outstanding.
Which car is it?
But I have paid for the fuel.
But you haven't paid.
You haven't paid for
Which
fuel.
one?
Right, we're going round in circles, aren't we?
We are, unfortunately, yeah. But we're trying to...
But if BP have a process and a policy that they take the
So
coin,
where have you read this policy then? Tell me about that education side of what you know.
it's not up to me to educate you on
Well,
their
you're telling me
policy.
it's their policy, so I'm just asking,
Yeah.
what's your policy? You got a policy? If he's saying you've got a policy, is there a policy here?
He said he doesn't know about it, but I've checked with BP head office before
Right,
coming.
and who did you contact from BP head office?
But it's not
Speak
up-
to a
it's not up
person?
to me.
Here comes the second officer, and instantly, the energy shifts. Instead of assessing the facts, she jumps straight to threats. You'll be arrested for making off without payment. But look at the scene. He's still inside the shop, engaging, not fleeing. There's zero making off. The Theft Act, 1978, is clear. The offense requires both leaving the premises and intent to avoid payment. Neither applies here. Yet she's building a case on something that hasn't even happened. Why? Because they've confused inconvenience with crime.
I need to tell you that. It's up to them.
Well, you either engage with us and we deal with it, because one minute you're saying it's a reason to pay with this, but then you're not backing yourself up with a reason as to what that is. You've said you've contacted the head office, appreciate that if that's what you've done, you've gone out your way and done that.
Yep.
But we don't know which head office, when you've contacted them, what they've said, we don't know anything. So all I know, you could just be lying to me now.
But that's a civil issue. It's nothing to do with myself
But if you
or
make
you.
off without giving us any details, we've agreed, we've reasoned with you now, and we've tried to say that if you give us your details, tell you where they live, we'll deal with it slow time. However, you then leave, you don't have your details, you don't know where you live, you could live in London for all we know, and then there's still this making off without payment because they will not accept this as payment.
But I don't have to identify for a civil issue.
It technically isn't a civil issue though, is it, when you leave and you don't pay? You haven't paid for your fuel. We've got the payment here, which isn't acceptable, so really you haven't paid at the minute.
Well, I have, because I've handed the coin over. So
Right.
I haven't got that in my possession, and I've contacted BP head office
Okay.
before coming here.
Right, and was that today
Um,
then, or?
No,
So when was that then? So you've contacted BP head office before you've come in?
correct.
Right, so did you
Um,
contact them today, or was it yesterday, or last week, or?
It's not up to me to say that. It's not up to the police
Well,
to
we'll
do
give
it.
you options, haven't we? So we either work with an option. You are?
But it would be an unlawful arrest though, because it's a civil issue.
This part's almost painful to watch. The auditor is calm, logical, and still standing there trying to reason. Yet the officers act like he's about to sprint out the door. Their language, "if you leave, you'll be arrested," shows they're working from imagination, not evidence. They could have just checked his number plate. That's lawful.
fast and avoids escalation. But instead, they double down on an unlawful ID demand. Ever notice how bad policing often looks less like aggression and more like stubbornness?
Hey Sarge, just Jessie free to speak. You right here. Just a quick one, we just got the... Oh, you're not free to speak.
Can you tell me why you didn't warn me about your body camera as well?
I've told you already.
Body one's on it.
But why didn't you tell me?
Basically saying we haven't told him.
Why didn't you tell me?
I don't need to tell you.
Swap.
You do.
I don't.
You do.
No, I don't.
It's part of your policy, you do.
No, it's not.
At the first reasonable opportunity.
Go on.
Don't show me details like that.
Yeah, and is there a picture?
No.
Yeah, perfect. Would you mind just adding that vehicle to the job, please? The easy option is that you pay,
But I have paid.
but you haven't paid because that's not...
But if I've got a civil agreement with the company prior to coming, that's nothing to do with you.
I don't understand the civil agreement. Why would the... If it's not money, it's not money.
But it is.
That's why I'm getting confused. How's it money?
Do you understand what the £20 coin is?
At this stage, the conversation hits absurd levels. The officer admits she doesn't even know what the £20 coin is, yet she's still threatening arrest. Let that sink in. An officer enforcing the law while admitting she doesn't understand the evidence. The Royal Mint confirms the £20 coin is legal tender, though stores aren't required to accept it. That makes it a civil issue, not a crime. Her ignorance doesn't justify cuffs. When you don't understand the law but enforce it anyway, that's where misconduct begins.
No, that's why I'm confused.
Well, why are you threatening me for arrest then, if you don't know?
Because it's not money.
It is.
Right. We'll agree to disagree. At the end
You
of the...
don't know that. It is. It's
Right.
legal tender, the same as a £20 note and a £10 note.
Right, and who did you speak to from the BP garage, the manager?
It's a Royal Mint who issued that £20 coin.
Right, okay.
So it's the same money as any other money. She has the packaging.
That's fine. I've
It's
seen
given
it,
by
but
the Royal
like
Mint.
I've said, I've never saw it before.
The Royal Mint make £20 notes, £10 notes.
Right, okay. But I'm not aware of it, and that's why we're having.
But then you're threatening me for arrest because you don't know. You can't do that.
Well, if you get someone on the phone to me who we've spoken to earlier, then we can kind of end the matter here, can't we?
But if it's a civil issue, I don't need to assist you.
But at the minute we don't know it's a civil matter.
But I don't need to assist you in a civil issue.
But you do, because it then turns into a police matter because we don't know that coin.
But if
This is
there's a-
what I'm getting at.
but if there's a civil
You're running the risk
agreement-
of being arrested because you haven't given us his details, and you're going to walk out that door, and it's technically a failure to pay.
But then it'll be a
Make off
civil.
without payment.
But then I'll sue you.
Well, that's
So-
fine. If you want to sue us, that's
Un-
fine.
unlawful
But
arrest.
like I said, we've been honest with you, and out in terms of which way we can go. The staff here have been very honest. Okay, and all I'm saying
Well, he
is, if you
hasn't.
get the person on the phone who you spoke to earlier with the agreement, then that could be the end of the matter. But
you
as
know-
far as I do, then technically, if you walk out the door, it's going to be make without payment.
He's already accepted to take it.
You haven't accepted to take it. No, haven't accepted to take it.
He said.
Sorry, haven't accepted to take it.
He said if I take me.
So
He said if I take my mask off, he would take it.
You are and you're right. At this moment in time, it's a civil issue. We know that. However, this isn't a means of payment. So once you walk out that door and you choose not to pay, then it becomes a criminal matter of making off without payment.
But he's
Which is
already
what-
accepted
we're
it.
not talking about them. We're
We're
talking
just
about
messing around
what
here.
we've got.
It's ridiculous, really.
He said he would take
But
it
he's not.
if I
We're
take
not-
my mask off.
Right, no, that's not what we're saying. We're saying
what he said.
that if
You
you
can wear a
don't.
mask all you want. It's COVID still, so we have no
But
issue. We can
but
wear
he
a mask.
said he would take it if I take my mask off.
Right, well,
And I don't need to
we
take my
weren't-
mask off.
Well, true, you don't need to take mask off, but we weren't here when that happened.
But he
We
said
are
he would
witnesses to
take
that.
it.
It's going off a matter. We're going off a different matter now. You walk out that door, becomes a criminal matter, and you get arrested for make off without payment.
Or you give us your
Because
details.
You're refusing to give us your
From there.
details, and we don't know that vehicle is yours because you're not.
But I've told
Is
you
it urgent?
that he said he would take the coin
But he isn't out.
if I take my mask off.
Right, well, I wasn't here for that, so we have no witnesses, unfortunately, other than other than you and him. Right now, I can't view that.
Body camera.
But right now, I can't view that. At the end of the day, you've come in, you've paid for, you've got your fuel, you've come in. This isn't a payable matter. Once you leave, we've offered you to give us your details and deal with it that way. For all I know, that vehicle could be registered to somebody else and lived in London. And how are we ever going to trace you? That's my matter at the minute, because you're still refusing to give me your details. You're refusing to tell me what head office said. You're refusing to tell me when you...
This is the moment everything collapses. The officer arrests him for making off while he's literally still there. He even says it, "I haven't made off." This is the kind of footage that makes public trust nosedive. It's not just poor judgment, it's a complete failure to apply basic law. Arresting someone who hasn't committed the act you're accusing them of isn't enforcement, it's false arrest. And as we'll see later, it's going to cost them dearly.
Sort of wrangling what their policy is when I've asked you.
There is one on them.
But I don't need to
Once
assist
you
you.
leave the situation, it is making off without payment. I can't be any more reasonable with you and give you some sort of options that we can go
But I
with,
don't
but you
need
still
to assist
refuse
you.
to.
I don't need to assist the police in a civil matter.
It's a civil matter until you leave. And you are choosing not to pay, so it comes into a criminal matter of making off without payment. If you want
That's
to know
why
what
I
it's called, it's
contacted-
like bilking. We call it bilking here.
That's why I contacted BP head office before
Okay.
coming. Are you listening?
I am listening, yes, but my sergeant's talking to me.
Well, tell him you're busy.
Yes, go ahead. One of my colleagues here, there's two of us.
I'm on the comms. Right, Linda, I'll get back to you.
You are sorry.
Right, okay, that's perfect. I'll let you know what happens. Cheers, my dear, thank you, bye-bye. Bye.
The reason I contacted BP before this is to stop this from happening.
Right, but it
I
has,
contacted them
unfortunately.
beforehand.
Right, but do you understand that it has happened, and now obviously we're kind of in a predicament that if you walk out that door, then it is a bilking.
But
So
if-
you will be liable for an arrest because we don't know who you are, and that is not a matter of payment. And in our kind of eyes, that's all I'm saying to you.
Well,
So
in your eyes-
you're not being reasonable like we're being reasonable to you. You haven't given us your name. We don't know who you are, and you're saying that you're going to walk out those doors without paying. So then you are liable for an arrest.
But I have paid though,
But you haven't paid.
with a legal tender.
But you haven't paid. We're going round in circles. You're just going to disagree with everything I say to you. So
Likewise.
admit it. Well, exactly. So that until we kind of clarify with our supervision what's going to happen, there's no point going round in circles, is there?
Well, there isn't, no.
Right.
But to stop the dishonest part is a reason why I contacted BP beforehand.
So let's sum this up. A man tried to pay legally, was refused, stayed calm, and got arrested for an offense that never happened. Months later, the chief constable quietly paid nearly £4,000 in compensation. Taxpayer money, of course, with no apology. That silence says everything about police accountability today. A civil disagreement became a costly lesson in ignorance, ego, and misuse of authority. If you found this breakdown as wild as we did, hit that like button, drop your thoughts below, and subscribe for more real-life body cam investigations that expose what really happens when power goes unchecked.